let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hey everybody, this is John.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of our favorite 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down.
We're going to get down to the nitty-gritty and examine the good, the bad, the ugly, and the laughable in these movies.
But we're always coming from a place of love. You don't watch these movies as often as we have unless you have a genuine affection for them. All right, welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
Kevin, back in the saddle with John.
Hello.
And we're joined by friend Sam Krumoff.
Greetings, everyone.
Yeah, we're here to talk about a movie that I think is near and dear to all three of us, 1991's Point Break.
Oh, my goodness.
This movie's fucking incredible.
Do either of you surf?
Never have, probably never will.
Never tried.
Well, yes, you have, because you've seen the movie. Everybody that's seen the movie has surfed in a way.
Emotionally surfed.
In my mind, of course.
I've emotionally surfed.
All right. So there's incredible action names associated with this movie, right?
Indeed.
Starring Keanu Reeves. This is his first ever action role.
Right.
He kind of knocks it out of the park.
He was only known for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure to this point.
I feel like it was like made for him, right? Like it's a surfer dude character. Yeah. Like that's not a big stretch for his natural vibe.
Right.
I mean, there's so many things I can say, but I'm speechless right now.
Then you got Patrick Swayze, who's fucking crushing the game.
He was a Hollywood icon at this point.
He had some action. He had done all types of movies before this, but definitely some action flicks, like solid ones. Roadhouse, Red Dawn.
I mean, it's
Dirty Dancing.
I'm just trying to pace myself. There's so much I can say about
we're
all these.
We're gonna get to the plot.
And I'm just dying with anticipation over here.
What can you say about Gary Busey, Sam?
Well, Gary Busey, a lot of these guys in this movie, basically that was the pinnacle of their careers, and we all love Gary Busey. And if you really are a Gary Busey fan, you think of him in Point Break, especially food, a certain type of food that's gonna be revealed later.
Gary Busey crushed action movies. Like in the 80s and 90s.
Shockingly so.
Lethal Weapon, fucking
Predator 2.
Under Siege, Predator 2.
Buddy Holly story.
Did you see him in Silver Bullet, the horrible like werewolf flick?
I've seen him in a lot of movies. For the most part, I don't remember which movies, but he's kind of that, how they used to, well, they still do that in Hollywood, where they will brand a certain actor in a role and they kind of roll that guy out for about 20 straight years. That was Gary Busey.
There's Lori Petty, Tank Girl, was like the love interest in the flick.
John C. McGinley.
Dude, fucking Harp, the asshole boss.
The casting is amazing. It's perfect.
Catherine Bigelow, director.
Yes.
Like went on to bigger and better things, Hurt Locker and Zero Dark 30. Awesome. Executive producer, James Cameron.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was married to Bigelow at the time, and they were like, supposedly they co-wrote the movie, but didn't receive a writer's credit because of some sort of guild issue. Yeah. But like they went through and did like the final pass on the screenplay.
This was also Bigelow's biggest gross until Zero Dark 30.
Really? Yeah. Bigger than Hurt Locker?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it deserves it. It's kind of a rad movie.
And you're talking about the names of the actors. I just want to highlight the names within the movie. That's where you know it's just a badass movie. I mean, come on. First of all, Johnny Utah. Angelo Pappas. And then, come on. One of my favorite ones is War Child.
Yeah,
War Child. Bunker. All these guys. Wait, AKA Lupton Pittman.
Yeah, exactly. and of course, one of the most badass names of the 90s is Bodhi. I mean, I wanted to change my name to Bodhi after watching that
Legit?
movie. No, but you know what I mean? It's a badass movie. I mean, we were talking briefly about Schwarzenegger earlier. I mean, most of Schwarzenegger's movies have these classic names within them, like Dutch and like
Matrix.
Yeah, John Matrix.
So, unbelievable.
Yeah. This movie, like a lot of the other ones that we review, is also sort of it's entrenched itself in the zeitgeist, right? It keeps showing
So
up in weird places all the time.
Did you see Hot Fuzz? Sam,
of course.
With the Point Break references throughout.
So
it's incredible.
many.
I've not seen Hot Fuzz in ages, so I probably will watch it now
Dude's
just
like
because of that.
obsessed with Point Break. He's like, dude, do you ever see Point Break? There's an amazing bit where they're jumping over fences. And it's just like in your mind, it automatically like, yes, I know exactly what he's talking about.
Well, no question about that. But to me, I've always spoken to you over the years. Kevin, we've been coworkers for over a decade now. But the biggest thing about this movie in the preamble really is it's a generational movie. It's about a culture, a lifestyle. It's almost like these guys said, you know what? I know you're tired of the 60s and 70s and 80s. This is a new time. This is the 90s, and this is what it's all about. We're going to change basically the perception of what movies and what pop culture is supposed to be music-wise. You're talking about the surfing aspect. I mean, the X Games didn't exist. That movie is basically what the X Games are based on.
It inspired a whole generation of extreme athletes.
There was no movie that did extreme skydiving, surfing, robbing banks. I mean, come on, like these guys just if you want to get a rush of blood to the head. You watch that movie, and it basically changed a lot of things.
Yeah, it's a fucking rad movie, dude. I think we should talk about the movie.
All right.
What do you think? No. You want to talk about what happens in the movie?
I mean, I'll talk about things that happen in the movie and things that happen in my life because of the movie.
So,
touched us all in a deep and personal way.
The movie opens with like sort of a cutting back and forth. We're seeing Bodie surfing, and then Special Agent Johnny Utah like practicing on the firing range at FBI, whatever, Quantico or whatever it is.
Pouring down rain.
Yeah, dude, he's totally like, it's pouring rain. I don't know that you would actually do that in the rain like that. I don't know if they'd let you on the range. It'd be like, nah. The dude who's like judging the score.
Yeah.
He'd be like, nah, fuck you, dude.
Johnny Utah's
We'll come back when it's not raining.
Doing barrel rolls.
So what was Keanu Reeves' like most serious role up to that point?
I think he had done
like
Theodore Logan.
No, bro, he had done like some Dangerous Liaisons and shit. Like he was trying to do art house like drama movies.
Okay,
that's not for him.
I just feel like that scene establishes Keanu Reeves as like, okay, now I'm gonna be this guy. You haven't seen me like this,
dude. Yeah, totally. He's like kind of John. You were saying like he's pretty buff.
Yeah, he's in great shape.
He's clearly been working out for the thing. Yeah, I mean, you better, I guess, if you're gonna be like doing all these surfing scenes with these other like ripped up dudes or whatever. But yeah, and then you got Bodie, although probably not really Patrick Swayze, but a dude like surfing, just shredding waves.
Right. It's a great opening.
Goosebumps.
Keanu Reeves, I've seen videos of him like practicing for the John Wick movies, and he like is really into that like gun range stuff, like running through obstacle courses and shooting at targets and stuff like that. And he's fucking legit like badass.
Well, what really bothers me is everybody's now in the Keanu Reeves train. I'm like, where were you 25 years ago? I mean, seriously.
Before Speed,
we've been here, man.
Yeah, and I was speaking as a guy that was in the theaters and actually saw a preview for The Matrix that was coming out like literally 6 months later. And seeing the preview, I was like, this is amazing. And the movie ended up being obviously iconic. But that was 1999, right? You're talking about 91, Keanu Reeves more or less showing you what he's capable of, and then all of a sudden all these like girls like, oh my god, I love Keanu Reeves, such a great guy, and all the Twitter and this and that. I'm like, I've been a fan for 30 years.
We're loyalists.
Yeah.
So if you're a Keanu Reeves fan, freaking watch the movie. Otherwise, don't call yourself a Keanu Reeves fan, please.
This was like the springboard for him.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, Bill and Ted was fun and all like that.
I don't know though.
But this was
I don't remember. Obviously, I was 9 years old or whatever. I mean, I thought Bill and Ted's was pop culture big stuff. I thought,
but it's like, oh, he's a funny guy. He's a funny, goofy, like stoner guy. And this showed that he's more than that.
I guess then he ended up doing Speed, which
really blew him up.
Made him, a rock or an action star.
Yeah, dude, he's had an amazing career. The things that he's done, the range of things. Like, and he keeps reinventing himself. Like, these John Wick movies are off the hook.
Yeah, they are great.
I've not seen the new one. I can't wait.
I got to check that one out, too. So, the FBI dude gives the awesome, like, glowing review right to his gun range skills. 100% Utah!
With a big
he hits him with that
up.
amazing thumbs up that's, like, the perfect
and the
gift.
smile, too. It was almost like a Mentos commercial.
Straight up. So then Utah makes his way to Los Angeles, sunny Los Angeles. Dude, the original title to this movie was Johnny Utah.
Oh,
that
really?
would have been dog shit.
Yeah.
And then they changed the title to Riders on the Storm, which would have been probably worse.
Right?
But, yeah, like the Doors song.
So they ended up stumbling upon like the most iconic name of the 90s, probably. After two of the most disastrous
If it had been
things.
named Johnny Utah, that would have spelled doom for the movie.
Yeah.
No matter how good it was, you couldn't take that movie seriously.
I mean, by that token, it should probably be called Bodie.
Yeah,
Like,
Bodie would have been a better
Bodie's-
title than Johnny
Bodie,
Utah.
right?
Bodhi
Yeah, right?
Satva.
Or Dead Presidents or something.
Yes.
Well, actually, half of them were alive.
So he gets to the LA field office where he meets Harp, played by John C. Reilly.
One of
McGinley.
the best parts about that opening scene is the donuts. I mean, it's really, really clever. But you kind of both guys, just enact that scene very well. I mean, Keanu Reeves doesn't give a crap. Johnny Utah doesn't give a crap. But he kind of even got
He's
some
giving him
powder on
shit from
his
day
lips.
one.
Yeah.
Like he's giving him shit from the first second, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, you're a real hotshot. Well, he's talking like what kind of diet the guys are supposed to have and all this bullshit.
And then he just
Utah's
ends up
like, I took the
grabbing
skin off chicken, sir. And then later he's like wolfing a
and he
donut.
basically shows him up. He's like, you know what, kind of go screw yourself. I'm a hot shot. I was at Ohio State a couple of years ago.
He is like, I love these things.
Yeah.
And Harp came at him like he tore him up after
It's
that.
a bad first impression. I mean, his boss basically hated him from that first second.
You're not afraid of like going at a boss though.
No, I'm not. I've had my moments over the years. It worked out. I got lucky, but it worked out.
But basically his point is you're a real hotshot cadet and all that bullshit, but like this, you're in the real world now and you have no experience here. And he's got a point, right? I mean, Utah's like a novice agent.
Yeah,
he doesn't really
absolutely.
know what he's getting into out here. Dude, John C. McGinley though is perfectly
He is.
cast in this
And he's
role.
that type of guy that never aged, right?
He looks the same now.
Like
as he
literally
always
looks
has.
exactly the same.
I
mean,
swear to God, on the bonus features on this DVD, he's got more hair now. This is probably not natural, but
but still,
That's okay. If it's there, it counts.
Again, the movie's almost 30 years old. If you
Yeah.
see any role of his in the last decade, he looks exactly
and he was
the
in
same.
Platoon like however many years before that, 5 years earlier, and he looked the same.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Again,
But he's
perfect casting.
built for these like smarmy kind of dude, whatever. Like you just
Like
don't,
a
you just
weird
don't like
mentor,
him.
a weird authority figure.
His assholeness was literally from the early 90s and late 80s. You don't get that personality now. He had
Yeah.
this kind of, you know what I mean? Like a smart ass, like in your face, kind of just like that era. I think it was that era
Yeah.
type of asshole. You don't get that type of asshole today.
It was like when they were casting whatever the role that he ended up playing on Scrubs.
Uh-huh.
That Zach Braff was like, I want to hire a John C. McGinley type character,
and they
but
went
I don't,
for him?
but I don't want John C. McGinley. And
Yeah.
then they were like, no one else can do it.
He
And he's
basically
like, fuck.
he copyrighted that type of asshole.
And he's like, fuck it, it's John C. It has to be John C. McGinley. So
Like
it
he's
was.
so it's
you want to punch him in the face, but you also are very entertained by what he
yeah,
says.
he's funny.
hysterical. His
And he ends
timing
up
is
getting
great.
punched, of course, but
That's when he hits him and he's like, are we clear? And he's like, zero distortion, sir. And he's like wiping the donut crumbs away. he was asking for it.
Yeah.
Utah was smart ass. But that shot was like just one long Steadicam shot. If you pay attention.
The tracking shot through the office is kind of badass.
So that office too is typical late 80s, early 90s. It just reeks of like sweat and sun and heat, no AC, and everybody's got these like sweaty like white button ups with like short sleeves. And I think about Predator 2 that they had like a similar kind of office.
It's just a
in
big space
LAPD.
full of computers.
Exactly. Yeah, and a bunch of macho guys.
That's when Harp like says, oh yeah, you're real, like whatever he says, he's young, dumb, and full of cum.
Yeah.
Is that an expression that's known, or was that around before that movie?
Around. Oh, you're right though. I mean,
I don't know.
I don't
I've
know.
heard it, but
But the big question is, did that phrase exist before the movie, or did the
don't
movie
know.
invent that phrase? I don't know.
I doubt it was original.
Needless to say, Utah and Harp's relationship is strained from the onset.
No, you knew after that moment it was over.
It's like, okay, we've established that.
They clash. Yeah, they're
It was
like
very
oil and
economical.
water.
You knew that even if he catches the bad guys, for some reason he was just not going to be.
Yeah, not going to get the credit he deserved.
No.
The exchange, though, the asshole exchange, is great.
Guess we must have ourselves an asshole shortage.
And he walks off. Utah like, not so far. It's a really it's just great timing. Dude, Keanu Reeves is a funny guy.
Yeah.
Like he's got comedy timing.
He is an American equivalent of a Van Damme or a Schwarzenegger in that his voice gets in the way. He's got good instincts.
So now we go to like the FBI's swimming pool complex, which is enormous. They're making dudes like blindfolded agents retrieve bricks off the bottom of the pool. But I can't imagine any FBI facility has a Olympic-sized pool. There was like 2 pools side by side in there.
I don't know. This is the government in the 80s.
I just can't see it. I mean, they were probably filming on like UCLA campus or something like this.
Yeah.
But in actuality, I can't see the government building that for this type of training. I don't know.
Pappas.
Introduction of Pappas.
Angelo Pappas, a 22-year veteran of the FBI, who's fired his weapon 19 times in the line of duty, does not understand the pool drill, and I gotta say, neither do I, Pappas.
Neither do I. He's like, I don't understand what fetching bricks off the bottom of a pool has to do with police work. He's got a point, but they just want you to be fit. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is.
But also, as soon as you see him, he makes just such a good impression. You know he's going to be actually on Keanu Reeves' kind of side the whole movie, almost like a mentor. You know what I mean?
It's interesting. Maybe it's all just staged so they can have an excuse to have him with a blindfold on talking shit about Johnny Utah before Johnny Utah gets there.
It would have been amazing if the guy throwing the bricks in the pool had been like, if he'd said, I don't understand the purpose of this exercise, and he said, we need it for the plot.
Yeah, right?
We need it so you'll be blindfolded when Johnny Utah walks up, God damn it.
He's got him blindfolded and he's griping about his, they're giving me a quarterback punk partner. Yeah. Meanwhile, Utah's perfect. Standing right in front of him.
But Utah takes it in stride.
I love that.
You already know that they're going to be buddies. You know what I mean? It's almost like Utah knows that the guy is just kind of like a shit talker. Like one of our guys in the office, that Jimmy Green. He just talks shit. You know he's a good guy. I think Pappas is kind of like that.
He's an old school, ball buster.
Just bust your balls, but he's a good guy. And he's going to have you back when it matters.
And for Utah's credit, Utah just lets it roll off his back.
100%.
He takes the blindfold off and he's stone cold busted, right? And he's like,
he's just encountered
Angelo Pappas.
Yeah. He's just encountered the biggest asshole probably around. So he's like, this guy's a good guy. Exactly.
Yeah. Compared to Harp, this guy's
So you're seeing the two kind of extremes. The guy that's not going to be a fan of Johnny Utah and the guy that's going to be like, all right, man, I'll take you under my wing.
The fact that he introduced himself as quarterback punk to him, that's he's got a sense of humor. I can work with this guy.
Level.
Well, you can also tell that he's not just good as far as shooting his gun. He's actually got it up here. He's a quick thinker, because he's got those quick kind of comebackers.
I think Busey and Reeves to me have really good chemistry, just the two actors. But then again, I feel like Busey's almost got that in every movie I see him in. He's just electric, working with whoever he's working with.
Yep.
I mean, Keanu is the guy's just the California dude.
And laid back.
Yeah, and Gary Busey's just in your face and tense.
Yeah, Busey's supposed to be sort of wired and disheveled and a little not put together, and Keanu's supposed to be the younger, more suave.
Does he not seem like he's probably slightly coked out all the time, which Busey may have been? I don't know. But I don't think Pappas is supposed to be on drugs, but just he's so amped up all the time, right?
No, he is. He's intense.
No doubt. So now, ex-presidents are robbing a bank.
So we've got in a car, they're getting locked and loaded and ready to go. We've got Reagan, Nixon, LBJ, and Georgia's own James Carter. Reagan, who's driving, looks at his fucking Rolex and says, little hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, isn't it? I love it all. Dude, it's all amazing.
That made its way into Hot Fuzz.
Oh, they did?
The little hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Yeah.
When did that come out?
At the very end. Where they're going on a car chase, at the very end, they get in the car and whoever Olivia Colman's character comes on and makes some kind of announcement. And they're like, "Little Ann says it's time to rock and roll."
Dude, so you got to go and rewatch that one.
The masks are perfect. I mean, I know that there's they're a dime a dozen, but the masks they chose for that movie are perfect.
The dudes are have tons of swagger when they're in there. They're dropping one-liners, and fucking Nixon's doing a Nixon impression throughout. He's like, I am not a crook.
We're implementing our own personal plan of deregulation, Mr. President.
It's pretty rad the way they move.
So they're keeping it kind of loose. I mean, you can imagine they probably had some weed and had some type of drugs and have been drinking.
Cool.
That they're like that 365 days a year, whether that's, their extreme sports or whether that's robbing a bank. They're having a good time. So they're not really thinking of what's the worst case scenario,
and
right?
They've done it 100 times or whatever, 25 times or something.
They're always in character. They refer to each other as their president names, or something close to it.
I love that Reagan's wearing a tuxedo. It's just awesome, isn't it? They're all wearing suits of the era of that president. I think, this is fucking rad.
And they call their getaway car Air Force One.
Yeah, it's so good.
They're consistently on brand. I appreciate that.
But on their way out, LBJ decides he wants to moon the people, whatever, the cameras, whatever it is.
He's a free spirit.
With thank you plastered across his ass.
Yeah, he's got thank you written on his ass. But you can tell that they are having fun doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the main thing. They're like having joy doing it.
It's not just fun. It's like, it's a high, right? I mean, these guys need, whether it's substances and whether it's activities, they always need something to fulfill the early 90s free spirit.
Now, I have a serious question for you guys. We've seen this movie 100 times, so we know where the plot's going. If you were seeing this movie for the first time, like, do you think that the audience knew already who the bad guys are going to be? Or like, is it who are these mystery men? Or have you like seen all the previews, like it's the guy? You know? Even if you have never seen it before?
I don't even think I'm just trying to think, like, even if he's the bad guy, you know that Patrick Swayze is going to be a big character, right? So so I think you could put two and two together, I think.
And even without a plot twist per se, like, you can still enjoy watching everything unfold.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, something be said about movies being too clever for the sake of being clever, and it's another thing to just be a simple story that's just entertaining. It's an entertaining watch.
All right.
Compelling on its own.
That works for me, guys. So later on at the bank, Pappas and Utah are like studying the surveillance film.
We get a lot of exposition right here. We hear Pappas say that the ex-presidents have robbed 27 banks in 3 years. They control the room. No one ever gets shot. They're in and out in 90 seconds. They stick to the cash drawers. They never go for the vault. They leave the car running on the curb and dump it later. And they vanish. They're the best he's ever seen.
We are also introduced to Alvarez and Babbitt,
right?
The two like asshole agents, which you got to have in every one of these movies.
That's right. The naysayers who come up and start badgering the guys about Pappas's surfer. They start to hint at Pappas's surfer theory.
Oh, yeah, tell them about your theory, bro. It's totally far out and all that type of shit.
And that's all we really get to hear of it before Harp comes in and needs somebody to go check out the getaway car, the drop car.
Yes, and like. Utah, like the eager beaver, like he volunteers. He's like, we'll go work it.
Blue Flame special.
So I got really hooked watching the movie with that explanation by Pappas about the robbers. Hearing him say how good they've been and how professional they are, it was very compelling to me as a viewer. I remember being like, this is really cool.
You want like a formidable bad guy. Yeah. Bad guys, whatever, right?
Yeah. It was to me, then it was a mystery. I think obviously we hadn't seen, Patrick Swayze or whatever. At that point, you're like, okay, I'm in. I really want to see who these guys really are.
And Pappas knows that it's like a waste of time, right, to go and study the car because these guys never leave clues behind.
Right.
So they're up there on like Mulholland Drive or something, like up in the Hollywood Hills, and they're looking at the car, and once again, like there's no clues left. They're like saying maybe we can check the sweat secretions or whatever, but Pappas knows they're not going to find anything. They're like talking about how it's 7:30 at night, and I thought it was kind of dark already to be 7:30, but that's just me.
Yeah.
It's kind of like almost
again, you don't think
dark.
about that in 91.
Yeah, they're not worried about this.
You think about
shit.
that like after the turn of the century, really, as far as
get
movie production.
All the like production's got to be perfect.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. It's 91. Who gives a fuck? I like it.
Much like the 90s action movies.
No, it's kind of like,
who gives a fuck?
Yeah, and then think about like how many songs you like from the 60s and 70s that haven't been remastered, but they were good songs, right?
Yeah.
You don't need it to be a perfect like beat and a clear sound if it's a good song.
True. You just love the song.
You love the song, exactly.
So this is where Utah sort of starts getting in Pappas's face for being a burnout and giving up, and sort of incites him to anger to the point that he convinces Pappas to reveal the surf theory.
He's baiting Pappas.
Yeah, big time.
He's like saying like, maybe I can do better than you over the hill burnout. Like, why don't you retire and go tell Nam stories?
Which pushes Pappas over the edge because apparently he was
actually in Nam. Yeah, he took that shit real seriously.
Well, he is high strung, so it doesn't take much to push him over the edge.
I felt kind of like Reeves was like in over his head in this scene, like Keanu as an actor.
Like, he was trying to bring the intensity and the anger.
He was trying to bring the intensity, but he didn't have that old man like anger in him.
No. So, no, I mean, Keanu Reeves, the reason why you love his character so much is because he has flaws as far as like the actor himself, because he's obviously such a, rookie at that point.
As a young actor? Yeah.
The actor, Keanu Reeves, and the character. And that's why it's almost like you can forgive those moments where you're like, he didn't really sell me here because he's actually not selling you within the character and just the actor himself. You know what I mean? It's just very he's Keanu Reeves, you know what I mean? He's very green. It's like the dude guy. But don't you think that he, in such an early stage of their relationship, Johnny and Pappas, would he actually go at him that quickly?
I don't know.
Do you feel like kind of...
It felt a little forced.
It was a little rushed, right?
But he went after Harp within 5 seconds.
But he didn't scream in Harp's face.
He didn't scream at him, but he immediately baited him into like,
I guess
basically calling him
he does
an
have
asshole.
that streak
He's
in
an
him.
instigator.
And it comes out more and more later in the movie, like that he's like has a problem with authority.
So how long have they known each other at this point where he's actually going in the guy's face? A
5
freaking police
hours?
veteran.
Yeah.
Like that afternoon.
It's like it's not been a long time. You know what? No, it's been days. There's no way that robbery happened the same day that was his day one. It's probably been a week.
So you can tell they like bonded pretty quickly. They're buddies, so he kind of feels he can. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you can go harder on people you feel comfortable around, right? Yeah. He wouldn't have been going after him if they didn't have a healthy relationship.
Right.
Well, his whole thing works though, right? Like he does get Pappas to tell him the theory.
Yeah. Well, Pappas probably already knows he doesn't have any more friends, and this is probably the only new friend and last friend he's going to have.
Yeah. So back at FBI, Pappas lays it out. The ex-presidents are surfers. While drinking some Corona Extra.
That jumped out to me, dude. Like they're drinking the beer and eating Chinese. Like to me, FBI seems so straight laced. Like I don't see you drinking beer like.
But this is Pappas in Utah, baby.
Exactly.
That's
and it's
true.
LA and it's 1991.
Pappas is way over it.
So they're looking at tan lines on LBJ's ass. They've got evidence from when Nixon scuffed his heel on a counter that left traces of carnauba wax. And then they were checking the dates, and this is how I knew it was September.
Okay.
Because they were like, they only robbed from June to October, and we have a month, Pappas says.
Okay.
See, that premise on its own is cool. You know, right?
Awesome.
They do what they need to do, and they go out, have fun, and they come back for more dough.
Traveling around surfing and spending other people's money sounds pretty dope.
They're like the Robin Hoods of California in the early 90s.
I love the story, like the wax, when he's like saying here, you know, it's just like the sex wax, which is just I thought it was like a legit sex thing, but it's
brand name.
It's a brand name of a surf wax. It's not meant for anything weird. But when he's saying like mustache, when Keanu's like mustache wax, he's like, I got it. Dude's waxing his mustache at the beach. He gets sand in it. Uses a shoe to take it off. Shoe scuffs the counter. That's so fucking funny.
He's an asshole.
He is. He's a smart ass.
Yeah, he is.
Young fucking asshole.
It's like dry humor.
Blue Flame special.
Yeah. So by the end of the conversation, Johnny's into it. They're going to go look for the ex-presidents.
He likes the surfer story. He buys in.
So we cut to Johnny Utah getting kitted out to go be a surfer.
That young dude's like talking shit to him in the surf shop, the little kid. Yeah. He's like, dude, never too old to start. And he's like, I'm 25. And he's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The little kid, that kid looked 12, right?
He's like 12, 13, yeah.
Yeah, unreal.
But if you're 12 or 13 that time and you're into surfing, you're already surfing, right?
So, well,
you're probably pro by then.
This kid is hard in on the surf cultures. He says, surfing's the source, can change your life, swear to God.
Yeah, he's
whoa,
deep. This kid's woke.
That kid's high as a kite, too.
I think he was. And then like Pappas telling him, dude, you gotta like Utah just wants to walk around on the beach and like try to meet people and get information. Right. And he's like, no, you got to get out there on the waves. Like
you got to become a member of the tribe.
Exactly. He's right. I mean, he proves himself right. I thought it was weird that they're just like talking about this on the pier, like openly. Like, shouldn't he be undercover? He shouldn't be going to the surf shop in his FBI suit and buying a surfboard.
It's a big
world.
It's a big
But what
world.
if someone saw him and they're like out here talking about, I can't believe this undercover.
They wouldn't remember him.
No,
at that point, he's not worth remembering. He's a suit.
That's true. He was a suit. They probably like don't even pay attention to those guys.
So then we get a couple of minutes of Utah crashing and burning, trying to teach himself how to surf, and being rescued by the beautiful Lori Petty.
I can't imagine how hard it would be to try to teach yourself to surf.
Fuck, I'd be dead. I'd drown.
Yeah.
I mean, that scene is just gorgeous, right? You got the cinematography, you got like you don't want to be there, and you're just thinking about like, sun is just pounding, and it's LA, California, 91, like, and there's a culture, right? Again, I just keep stressing like these guys, like this movie shows a culture that you almost kind of want to be a part of. You know, I'm not gonna be that 80s kind of rock guy. I'm gonna be this other looking like grunge, and there's something about it, and I feel that first surfing scene introduces you to that.
Yeah.
I think the movie really starts during that scene.
So I mean that Lori Petty is sort of the embodiment of that new culture of surfing, because she walks right up to, or swims up after saving him and says, "You're bored shit. You have no business being out here. You're a danger to yourself and others." He tries to introduce himself and he's like, Or she says, "Who cares?"
She's short hair, whatever. I mean, it's you can just tell the attitude right on her face. It's perfect.
I definitely like her style in this movie. Like she's hard as nail, like tough.
Her eyes are a once in a lifetime talent alone.
She was like a tough, strong woman. I like that.
Exactly.
That's cool. But yeah, as you say, like he tries to introduce himself unsuccessfully. He's like, the name's Johnny Utah. I mean, she's like, who cares? She's done with him already.
You can taste the salt in that scene. I'm telling you, it's so real. Totally. Like you're part of.
Catherine Bigelow did an awesome job capturing the atmosphere through all this.
I thought we'll talk about this in the upcoming, but it's weird that he was using his own real name as his undercover name, right?
That is interesting.
You'd use an alias.
But then again, because
it becomes relevant later, but in reality,
but if you really think about it, if you are a
halfway famous person,
quarterback famous, people recognize him, and if he's another guy, that doesn't make any sense. Because why would people be like, why is a former college quarterback an FBI agent, right? That doesn't make any sense.
And this is a pre-internet world where you could not Google Johnny Utah and it would say like Johnny Utah enlists in the FBI or graduates FBI Academy.
If you followed college football, which a lot of people do, it's it's like a religion in the United States.
At USC too. And he referenced the Rose Bowl, which is in LA, right?
Yeah,
so Johnny Utah played in freaking in LA.
And I wasn't thinking about the no internet of this world where no one could Google him and see Johnny Utah arrests, whatever. Like, so there'd probably be no way to know he was FBI, just having no idea.
He's the perfect undercover agent.
Oh man! So Utah is watching Tyler change clothes.
Skis.
Kind of creepy. Like he's got the binoculars and he's watching her change her clothes. And
there's nothing inconspicuous about it.
He is very much like, gosh, she was pretty hot in this movie.
Yeah,
I was in love. Yeah.
And they got that scene back then. Hollywood had your macho moments and your kind of sexy moments.
But he was kind of like he was definitely like Peeping Tom mode, like Utah.
But again, he's still a young guy straight out of college. He's young, full of cum. Exactly.
So this next scene, he rolls back to the FBI, looks her up in the database. She's got a minor rap sheet, nothing significant, but finds out he needs like an N to like connect with her, and finds out that her parents died in a plane crash. And he's like, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use that.
That's my approach. That's a dirtbag approach. Like to use that against her. That's pretty bad.
I mean, it's a rookie move, but remember, he's a rookie.
He's got to go for the low hanging fruit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So in the very next scene, right, he rolls up to the cafe where she works. And as soon as he walks in, she says, "You're still hanging out around here." Do we think that it's been like weeks have passed and this is not the first time he's walked in, or is it like the very next day?
2 to 3 days max.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's the second time she's seen him.
She's like, he made an impression here.
He made an impression on her because you feel that these guys are like a cult, like a gang. All these kind of surfers, they have their own culture, so he obviously doesn't belong. So she when she saw him on the beach, she's like, "Who the hell is this guy? Get the hell away from here." He comes back, she's probably like, "Why are you still here?"
Right. Absolutely.
And he's like begging her, like basically, "You got to teach me to surf. Like I'm going to learn to surf. I'm going to die trying, I guess." And she's like, "What's your deal? Like, why are you
is this a line? Are you trying to pick me up?"
Which it kind of halfway is, right? But then he feeds her that story about, "Oh, my parents died in a car crash.
I've only done what other people wanted me to do." I was like, "Oh my God."
Like he's like, "Yeah, I was living for my parents and like fulfilling all their dreams of what I would accomplish, but then they died, and like it changes your perspective." He's hitting her with
again,
that, like, babe, you probably wouldn't understand that.
Very amateur acting / delivery of the real character. But again, he's a rookie.
Yeah.
Acting wise, he's a rookie in the movie, and it works.
It works because he's not a bad actor, but undercover Johnny Utah is a bad actor.
I almost feel like he is at that point.
Well, Keanu Reeves is not a bad actor. Undercover Johnny Utah is a bad actor. I think Keanu
Reeves in 91
he's
in
an
that
underseasoned.
Role, he's an underseasoned actor, and then people kind of make fun of that Keanu Reeves. But I think that's what makes him perfect for that role, because that's why he's perfect as Johnny Utah. If he was like a more serious actor, maybe he wouldn't pull that off a little bit.
The one thing that he's got going on for him throughout this is that regardless of what you think about his chops, is that he sort of perpetuates this innocence. And so like it comes across as very like
he's
naive.
He's like earnest.
Yeah, he is very
earnest. Naive is a really good word. I think Keanu Reeves is naive acting in this movie, and the character is naive Johnny Utah's naive in the movie.
He's never, he's not like jaded yet or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But she agrees to give him a lesson.
She's totally into it, and she's hooked on his story, and then he says the bit like, I want to do what you do. And she's like all shy and demure and like,
well, he's a handsome dude.
Yeah. But
I give him that as well. Like, he has that going for him.
He's got her hook, line, and sinker at that point.
This scene, like, it worked for me though, as awkward as it is, that he's like, I think mainly because like she sells it. Like she's so against it when he walks in. Then he starts laying his story out for her about the parents and all that. And you see her sort of weakening. And then he charms her in the end, and she's like, okay, fine. I'll give you one lesson. Like one day, this isn't, I'm not going to be your coach or anything like that. But yeah, you kind of buy it. I buy it.
I mean, if he probably wasn't that naive, she probably would have said no. But she's probably, this guy's such an idiot, he'll probably get himself killed if I don't help him out.
Yeah. So then we got the training montage scene, basically, right? This in every good movie. But like they meet up early in the morning and she teaches him how to surf.
Yeah. On the sand. It's perfect.
Yeah. You start on the sand. You got to learn to crawl before you can walk or whatever.
I like the locals walking by, like laughing at them though.
Yeah, I wonder who those dudes were. Like just extras or just like randos. Real life? Like
no, for sure. Extra. I mean, they were asked to do that for the movie, but that's the point. Like everybody
walk by and ridicule us.
You could tell if you didn't belong there, right? People could basically point at you and be like, "This guy's like, go back to the valley, man." Like, that was a specific culture, and he didn't belong.
So they seem to have gone all day, right? Because it's kind of getting dark, and she's got him up and surfing. Like he's able to get onto his feet on a wave, which is pretty good for day one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess. And
he's an athlete, remember?
Yeah, that's true.
So coordination, how hard can it be?
They see Bodhi just like shredding waves. And they're
like
both
literally
mesmerized.
Laying all the way back in a tube, like on his back.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think they said they filmed all those surfing scenes in Hawaii. Like the ones where they're actually out on the waves is Hawaii.
Really?
Like the beaches are California, the sand.
But the surfing's in Hawaii.
Because I guess it's more consistent waves and everything like that. But yeah, that was like legit surfing. That looked like it might have really been Swayze on that scene.
Well, he did a lot. He did a lot, as much as they would let him do of his surfing.
He was he was not a pro.
Was he a surfer before the movie, or he learned from the movie?
He learned with the rest of them, but I think he was better than most.
Patrick Swayze,
he's just a natural athlete.
Everything.
Yeah, he was like everything.
Yeah,
it's a pretty great character intro too.
Well, she mentions that like, Bodhi is short for Bodhisattva, which is an enlightened being. I didn't know this. Who in Buddhism forgoes nirvana to save other people.
Yeah, it's pretty like. Well, whoever came up with all of this stuff, all the background and the lore, like did homework.
Yeah.
By the way, the music in doing those scenes in the movie is perfect too.
It's like spiritual.
Yeah. Oh, it's perfect. Yeah.
It feels like you're in a yoga studio.
I mean, I've never surfed and it makes me want to surf.
Yeah. So she almost warns him like that Bodhi's crazy. Yeah. Like she says, he's always searching for like the ultimate ride.
Bodhi's like the male version of like, she's a dangerous girl. You want nothing to do with her.
Which only makes you,
and you're like, I want to go date her.
Especially Johnny Utah.
So Johnny Utah's like, this guy's danger. I want in because danger can get me closer to my goal, which is to kind of belong here, right? Yeah. He at this point, he has no idea that Bodhi's one of the robbers, but he's probably like, this guy is exactly the type of guy I got to be around to basically accomplish my goal.
And absolutely. Johnny doesn't realize it yet, but he is like a surfer at heart. Like he's drawn to this. Like that's who he is. I feel like he feels that pull to like, I'm mesmerized by this guy.
It's the same thing that makes you decide that instead of being a football hero, you're going to be an FBI agent.
Yeah. He's a free spirit too. He's just a little out there. You know what I mean? Like a lot of those people in that generation were, he's just a little out there.
But now we've met our main couple characters.
That's right.
So we'll leave it here for this time, but we'll be back next week with a whole lot more
to
talk about.
There's a lot of Patrick Swayze love that's going to be coming up.
Those golden locks.
I do love him.
I have a main crush on Patrick Swayze from that movie.
I feel like I'm the one
the rest of America at that time, man.
I'm missing out. I missed out on all the Patrick Swayze love.
He'd already done Ghost, so when this movie came out, it was like, forget about it. Everyone was obsessed with Patrick Swayze.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He may have been People Magazine's sexiest man alive that year.
He's my sexiest man alive from that movie.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, we'll be back soon with a whole lot more. Anyone want to say anything?
See you guys next time.
That's a great tease right there.
All right. See you next time.
Give me 2.